Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode, or should I say the first episode, of the LEGO Legend of Zelda Custom Set Showcase Wave 4, where today we're going to be taking a look at our first custom set, which of course is Z0061 with 922 pieces. I teased it last week, and it is based off Breath of the Wild. It is freeing Naydra, the sky spirit from the lanayru region. So here you can see our lovely box. It's using the wide and thin 40 box style that was recently used on the LEGO Mario set Big Bag Island, and it is rated for ages 8 and up with 922 pieces, retailing for £54.99 Great British Pounds. We are representing the new price increases here on the set. So one of the reasons that delayed the waves is I had to rethink about the structure, and this was originally going to be priced at 44. However, price increases, and this set does contain 3 minifigures and 1 brick-built character, which makes up the majority of those 922 pieces. And I've got a quick description for you today. Fly into freezing updrafts of Mount Lanayru to chase after the sky spirit Naydra. Only you can fade off the attacking wizard forces and win the dragon's favour. Watch out as the giant beast knocks down trees and beware its swiping tail. Including Link's paraglider, you too can soar through the skies of Hyrule to find the lost goddess statue. Measuring 54 centimeters long, Naydra is fully posable and has an opening mouth and claws, which gives you an idea of what we're in store for today. And of course, you can see our lovely new green box art that we pioneered with the Arbiter's Grams ruins so many months ago, and this is our new style for this wave. And we've got a fair couple of elements to take a look at, as well as some lovely figures too. And let's, without further ado, get straight into it. So opening up our box, we find that we have 6 newly papered numbered bags and 2 newly made boring blank manuals. If you're not familiar with these changes, in line with changes that real LEGO sets are undergoing, I've decided that the custom sets needed an upgrade, and that included changing all of our bags to paper to match LEGO's change, and changing all of our manuals to be in line with the paper, like the new boring ones that we started seeing this summer in everything apart from 18 plus sets. So that is represented accordingly here. And opening up our first manual, we would find that bag 1 builds pretty much all of our accessories and gives us our Snowcrawl Link minifigure, and that's it in bag 1, and book 1 I should say. And then in our second book we have bags 2, bags 3, which builds the head and gives us our Ice Whiz robe. Bag 4 continues the body, bag 5 continues it yet further still and gives us our Iceless Alphos, and then bag 6 finishes off the tail and the claw arms, and that splits out the build fairly nicely. And here is the build all completed across both booklets. You can see all of the elements here together, and just to reiterate, that dragon is incredibly long at 54 centimeters, that's half a meter. So starting off by looking at our accessories, we have 3. We have a goddess statue to pray at that would be at the top of the Swing of Wisdom. We've got some snowy trees, which we'll also take a look at, and then we also have a Link's Breath of the Wild paraglider. Starting with that, you can see it's a fairly simple build, making use of some newer pieces such as the triangle element and the new bar attachments at the bottom for him to grip onto. I have not tested the design in real life, but I'm pretty sure it would work very nicely, and it has that beautiful dark red colour scheme matched with the brown wood underneath, and looks fantastic, and obviously is compatible with figures to be held above the head and would look simply wonderful doing so. However, moving on, we have 2 more builds. We have the tree and the statue. Taking a look at the statue, you can see I've used a couple of different techniques to wind out the face and get the shaping right, some of which was inspired by various fan designs that I've seen across the internet, including using the reverse of a boat stud or slip shoe to create a face impression, and then using bar poles to create hands that come together, and then you've got the big wings at the back. Obviously this is supposed to represent the highlier statue at which you throw Naydra's scale to gain access to the shrine not included of course. And then lastly we have 2 trees, and while it isn't shown here in the picture, these guys can actually be knocked over. They're only attached by 1 stud, and that's done deliberately so that as Naydra flies past they can knock down, or Link can chop them down, or the Zalphos can get knocked over by one of them. And you'll notice that these are actually pretty unique as far as Lego trees go, using a dark brown and dark green colour scheme with some bright green of the 3 stem leaves to add a little bit of interest. And all of these leaves are attached with superhero poser pieces in bright green and capped off with a plant piece and a cone, making an interesting fir tree looking shape, 2 different heights, and you've got a white bird on top, just being a bird of Hyrule that maybe Link can shoot with his bow. Moving on to the main attraction, we of course have Naydra, who is a bit of a shelf piece. I mean, I think the way this model can be described is it's both playable because it's a large scale dragon, but also that it is displayable because it is a large scale dragon that is fairly accurately detailed in relation to the game. Each of the segments is 6 studs long and is highly posable in this way, giving that snaking serpent look, and this set was actually largely inspired by the Crocodile 3-in-1 creator model that came out into the summer of 2021. This design's been one of the earliest for Wave 4 that was being under construction, and very happy to see it now finished using a lot of new aqua colour pieces and then some trans blue. So you can see some of that curvature here as along with our arms, and we'll go take a look up at all the close details now. Well, firstly, we have another shot here of the dragon flying towards you, arcing slowly as it does in game, and you can see the rounded off nostril in that square sort of shape, as along with the mane and all of those transparent pieces in a little gradient going from dark to light. Taking a closer look at those, you can see that they come out of the body at an angle. The gaps are covered up as best as possible, starting with the dark blue colours and working to the light blue transparent pyramids, and the spikes get consistently smaller all the way along the body into the end of the tail. You can see also here that the underneath of the body is done in a light lavender to represent the underbelly of the dragon. However, the multi-shimmery scales have been chosen to be represented with light aqua. I believe it's the most accurate colour if you scale down the weird sparkling effects that are going on the dragon in the game. Furthermore, up at the head, you can see that Naydra has a jaw as well as a feathery mane that flows back from behind the recessed eyes, which are represented here by bright yellowish orange studs that would of course have a sticker, well, I'd hope a print. And you can see the shaping on the nostril was something that I really struggled to get hold of. You guys will have pretty much all seen the dragon in the game, and you sort of can attest that it looks vaguely right. Once again, I'll bring up that these custom sets are only supposed to show what could be made, not necessarily the best way to make it, so I understand that this dragon is not exactly the most top tier model out there. However, the mouth can indeed be opened and then closed, and it sort of sits within that jaw and hides away. This shot also gives us a very clear look at how the mane is being constructed, using a lot of slopes and wedges in different colours of aqua, teal and sand blue, with a couple of bits of transparent on the side, and using lots of crystalline pieces such as the Chima crystals and the little blade pieces which I think were introduced with Ninjago, as well as this big sloping back design for this giant ice mane that comes down the top of the dragon's face. Taking one last look at that, you can see more of the crystal pieces and some of the DC superhero poser pieces which are being used to make angles, as well as all the teeth pieces and claw recolours in turquoise, and then even some of the fangs that are going off on the sides towards the back as well. A nice variety, trying to make the mane look as natural as possible. However, of course, it's going to look very square, it's going to look very awkward. There wasn't too much I could do in this department. And then onto the legs, you can see that the claws are 3 talon claws, built around a very simple joint setup that just hinges onto a upper thigh portion, which has some Nexonite shields to create a nice 45-degree angle, and a couple of other details to round them out before they attach into the normal body segments. And here are those body segments, as you said earlier, 6 studs long with 1 spike coming out of each of them, and each section is attached by a ball joint which is recessed to minimise the gapping, and they're nice and rounded off as well to create the tubular appearance of this serpent. Lots of recolours in this set, as said, and obviously a large proportion of the parts budget goes into making each of these modules as secure and as detailed as possible, so hence the large piece count and the slightly overinflated price of the set for low minifigures and low playability. It's a lot to ask of one person for one dragon. However, that covers all of the builds in today's set. Let's take a look at it in comparison with the other Wave 4 sets that we've looked at so far, which is Take Back the Sea and the Arbiter's Grounds Dungeon Expansion. Ruling an interesting lineup here. Definitely the most unique out of the 3 sets. The other 2 were definitely on par with other stuff that we've done before. And this is the first one in the entire custom set showcase to use the long 40 box design. Which I was really pleased with, given that the model itself is so long, and that darker background scheme is also really unique. But once again, the green aesthetic tying everything together. Take Back the Sea, probably still my favourite from this wave so far. So our first minifigure from today's set is Link in his Snowclaw outfit from Breath of the Wild. I drew this figure on stream a couple of months back, and you can see he comes with a new moulded headpiece that includes the ears and also the Snowclaw decorations, probably a high chance of that being a rubberized piece. He has a tan torso with some dual moulded arms, lots and lots of detail on this fig, even going down onto the legs, fully completely decked out on all sides, and he has the new bow piece, although due to recent discoveries, this potentially would be the Avatar bow piece that was recently announced for the Avatar Wave Wave 2 sets, mainly because of the action feature included with that piece that would mean that you'd be able to shoot arrows at Naydra and the Bokoblins and all the other things that we're going to look at next. So I would, in hindsight, change this bow piece out. Which is another pertinent reminder that right now, while I show you a reference of the Snowquill set, the reason this custom set has been taking so long is because of changes that have been happening. And to make this one last a little bit longer for you guys, we're going to be interspersing it with the regular content. So we're going to have one video a week, and every 2 weeks will be a new custom set. But at least until I get through my backlog of really exciting stuff I have planned. Don't worry, all LEGO Zelda related at the moment, and then custom sets will be coming as and when I can get them done, as we're still not quite finished due to some changes. However, it's been a really, really busy year. I appreciate you all for sticking with me and for 350, of course. And I'm really hoping that we get to see this into the new year and maybe potentially official sets in the summer. And as a last reminder, I don't know about an advent calendar this year. I still haven't decided. Let me know if you have any strong opinions either way, but I feel like 2 advent calendars is a strong show, but I'm not sure if I can necessarily come up with enough ideas for one for this year. So I think we may give that a pass, but you guys will have to let me know. Okay, and then next up we have the Ice Wizrobe from Breath of the Wild, which is also a very odd design that potentially doesn't translate particularly well in the custom sets. However, once again, these are supposed to show concept arts rather than actual like fully fleshed ideas. Here you can see next to the reference imagery, you've sort of got this molded over the top hood piece, a bit like the original 90s Ghost. There is actually no head over the top. This is a bit like the Ned B figure from the new Star Wars Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan set, where it sits over the top of a white torso and plain black legs to just create a minifigure with a really weird specialized headpiece. I'm not the best at drawing mouths and eyes, so this is why this guy comes across a little bit creepy, but I tried my best for you guys. And then he's got his Ice Wand build, which is absolutely ginormous compared to what it should be, but they would not make a specialist mold for this, so here you go. And then finishing us off, we have our Ice Lizalfos from Breath of the Wild. This is a figure we've seen before back in Wave 2 with the Lizalfos Battle Pack, and here it is again, looking absolutely fantastic. And just fitting in here, nicely rounding out the set, giving something else to fight that isn't just a Wizrobe, or maybe it's a Wizrobe spawn, you know. In previous games they've been able to spawn enemies and so on. So next to its reference, here we go. And he's looking about the same as he did in Wave 2, just a reused figure to fill out the slots. So that's actually going to do it for today's set, Z0061 Freeing Naydra. The main focus of the build, of course, being on Naydra the Dragon. However, you've got all these side builds off to the side that are giving so much more to the set. Just that little bit of scenery, and then also something so iconic as a goddess statue is great to finally have included. Not to mention a Snowquill outfit, one of my personal favourites, and I know a fan favourite for sure. Another appearance of a Lizalfos for the army building, and of course a new important enemy in the form of a Wizrobe, one that you don't need too many on, so it makes sense for a perfect inclusion in our first foray into a snowy set outside of the advent calendars, which is interesting. And this set was actually originally planned for Wave 3, way back when I made my first 3-wave draft, back before Wave 1 even came out. And it's been pushed back because it was a really tricky challenge to try and make work. And about a year ago I had a vision for how I wanted to do it, started making it, and it has taken a full calendar year to come to fruition. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm still happy with it. Don't get me wrong, it looks really impressive and I love the way the renders look, but I can't help but feel that there's something missing or that the piece count is too high. Regardless, out of the brick built creatures, it probably falls pretty low on the list compared to stuff like Monkman's Kosher and the Loftwings and some stuff you'll see later this wave. Oh, a big time favourite coming up soon. And yeah, no, it's a fun one. I think it's a good set. I don't know how it compares to the rest of them, but either way, it's a strong showing, strong start to our new series of Wave 4 here on the channel. And as for next time, we are going to be looking at this. This is your clue for this time. Yeah, go crazy with that. So I will see you back here next Monday for a video I've been making for a very, very long time, and I'm very, very excited to share. I am super, super excited to finally have him in hand. It's been a long time coming. And then the following Monday we have the next custom set, which is the Polybag. So something to look forward to there. I promise, exclusive figure, exclusive play options, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much, and have a good rest of your day.